Hi guys, how you going? Yeah, hope you're all travelling along well. So yeah, scanning this morning. Apologies I didn't get any footage of that. It was just, yeah, pretty hectic. There's a fair bit going on. We scanned just over 1,300 ewes this morning. They've come out at 116% in lamb, which is a pretty good result. I was hoping for something like that, but you just never know whether the boys like the girls or the girls like the boys and that sort of stuff. You know how that sort of stuff, I don't think I need to explain the boys and the birds and the beads. No, all seriousness, just with the way the weather's been pretty tough weather on livestock in general, just with sore feet and, you know, extra worm burdens with the wet weather and green grass and that sort of stuff. So, and yeah, just talking to the guy that does our scanning, he was a bit concerned, like he's sort of some of the scanning results he has seen, just with, you know, exactly that, sore feet. Doesn't take much to put an animal off, especially sheep. So no, so they've joined up really well. So we've got about, I'm just not sure without looking the numbers, there's about 250 in round figures that aren't in lamb. So some of them have never had a lamb. They've been here 3 years, so we'll actually cull them. We ear tagged last year when we scanned. We ear tagged those ewes that weren't pregnant, and so some of them were their first joining last year. So we'll keep them again this year and give them another go. But some of the ewes, there'll be some ewes there that have had 2 joinings and haven't got in lamb. So we will sell them, and they'll go to meat. So just it's just, we can't afford to carry them the way without them producing. Yeah, so yeah, there'll be in round figures about 100 of them, I think. So yeah, but anyway, pretty hot and humid today. We had about 6 mil of rain yesterday in the end. For those guys that watched the last video, there was about 6 mil. But yeah, you know, humidity is, we were going by about 6:30 this morning, and stifling hot for humidity. So anyway, but we got it done. It wasn't too bad. So just got Brendan here. We've got the multi-disc on the big tractor. Just looking at some of these canola stubbles that got drowned out. We were sort of a bit worried what to do with them, how to manage them. So I've got him here with the multi-disc, and it's actually, we've got a little bit of moisture, so it's actually chopping these canola stubbles that are down on the ground. It's actually chopping them up really well. So let's go on the window down and give you a look. So it's, yeah, they're coming up really well. We'll be able to sow through these, and even, you know, this paddock's going to go into grazing wheat. So we'll, you might not be able to hear me up there. This paddock's going to go into grazing wheat in mid-March. So even, you know, if we get another 25 or 30 mil of rain, we may even chop these up again and just do a really good job. So yeah, our multi-disc, it's back in the days where we had smaller horsepower tractors, so it's only a 4 metre multi-disc. So, but we can pull it along at, I think it's doing about 14.5 k's at the moment. So you do get over a bit of country. It's just, and you got to sit on it. So you do your 40 hectares a day without breaking your neck, which isn't too bad given it's only 4 metres wide. So anyway, yeah, that's what's the start of the week. So bit of spraying to do tomorrow. I'm just about to duck into town and get a tyre fixed, and what else are we doing? Get the big compressor, hire the big compressor to blow the header down. Yeah, so, and clean the fronts up. So anyway, we'll keep watching along. We'll yeah, be back to you shortly. So we're back from town. This is the compressor. It's a bit like a leaf blower on steroids. Probably the best way to, oh, Telltale, hello. Probably the best way to describe it. Just got a big screw compressor. Got a, I don't know what size the hose is, inch hose, and then just a big long bit of pipe basically with a tap on it, it's a lance. And yeah, it just really lifts the especially with there'd been a bit of rain and that on the header, so the dust and that tends to set a bit like porridge. So it does take the sort of normal leaf blower we use. It does take a bit to lift it off. I'll turn this radio off because we don't need to be fighting with it. You're trying to listen to me. So just back on the truck from one of the earlier videos, we had to get a roadworthy. What did we have wrong? So we had a little tap here on the end of the air tank, which it still doesn't look. The boys swapped that over the other day, so I just need to screw that out and make sure that's not leaking, because that tap doesn't look as though it's turned all the way around to me. I might be wrong, but anyway, I think if we pull that air fitting out at the end there, we just use that sometimes. You can plug a hose in if you need to pump a tyre up, especially when we've got the windrower on the back or something like that, blow an air cleaner out. And then there was the 3 lights, which you probably can't see because the bonnet's up. There's 3 lights there, amber lights along the top of the cab. They were actually there and working. Oh, one wasn't, but it just needed a wiggle. Yeah, so that was an easy fix. But one thing that we didn't find, or we didn't see, and we wouldn't have found, I just topped on my floor creeper. Bear with me, just come under here for a minute and I'll just show you this. So, hopefully, this is making really good viewing, I can tell you. Righto. So what had actually happened is that engine, oh, I can't get my arm in there to point at it. That engine, I just got a mouthful of dust, dirt. This engine mount here, the 4 bolts actually come loose for some reason. So you might be able to just see, if we stick that in there, see that top one's still, I've done the other 3 up and I thought I'll just show you. So that's just what these guys sort of pick out, I suppose. It's the sort of stuff. So yeah, I suppose if the bolts had have come out and fallen out, the engine mount could drop out and the back of the engine could drop down. So as I said, it is a bit of a pain in the backside doing it, but I find this sort of stuff that we wouldn't have found ourselves. We don't have a pit to get underneath and look. We've got a floor creeper and some concrete, and that's about as good as it gets. Oh, and a little dog. She's made for getting under trucks and stuff. But yeah, that's what it is good because they find this sort of stuff. So what we've got to do now is I've just got to try and get that 4th bolt done up, which is going to be a bit tricky. Once again, the engineers of the world have designed something that is a bit questionable. Sorry, engineers, but you've got a really bad habit of doing it. We really need a lift from you all. Yeah, so I'll do that bolt up. Try and be serious, and then yeah, I can just take it into our local mechanic, and they can look at what I've done and just check it, and then clear it. I haven't got to make another appointment to go over, take it to Finley, and yeah, do it with the RMS. So yeah, so they'll just walk around and look at it and say, yep, job's right, and then they can fill the paperwork out, and electronically it'll get passed off. But I'd sort of forgotten about it with us going away on holidays, so I actually need to get it done and get it in the next couple of days. Still battling away with this last bolt on this engine mount. So what I've actually done, and I've had to get a bit agricultural here, but I just haven't got the gap between the mount and the header, and the bolt's got a flanged head on it for whatever reason. So I just haven't got the room to get a standard spanner in. So what I've actually done is I've found an old 21mm spanner, and I've taken an angle grinder to it just to narrow it up so I can get it between hopefully get it between the engine mount and the flange that's on the head of the bolt. So yeah, other than that, I don't know how it's, we had some work done on this truck 18 months ago now, and I think they did put a new engine mount on it. So whether they've dropped the back of the engine down, taken the tail shaft off and dropped the back of the engine down, but we sort of haven't got the facilities. Well, we could do it, but a lot of mucking around to do what we want to do. So we've sacrificed an old spanner, and hopefully we can, if we ever needed to do it again, we'll already have the tool to do it. So fingers crossed it works. So it turns out we should have actually ground a imperial spanner, not a metric one. So now I've got 2 thin spanners. So anyway, as soon as I started to put a bit of pressure on that other one, it was slipping, and it just wasn't quite 100%. So when I sort of looked a bit harder, I was able to get the other ones done up, but this one is tight for some reason. Yeah, but anyway, turns out it's 13/16, not 21mm. Who knew? All right, we're all done. It did a good job of fighting me right to the end, but anyway, we got there. Yeah, pretty grubby. Anyway, have days like this. Yeah, pretty humid, my God. Yeah, no, it's leaking a fair bit of liquid at the moment, but anyway. Yeah, anyway, so no, we'll get onto these guys tomorrow, so run this in and get it ticked off so it's right, and then yeah, a bit of spraying early in the morning. G'day Barry, how are you? Bit of a hot dog. Yeah, anyway, we'll see you in the morning. Morning team. Yeah, no, back on the boom spray. Yeah, just got a pasture paddock here. It's about 70 hectares. Still got a bit of lucerne in the bottom. Look, there's still a bit of lucerne in it. We did a spray top on here earlier on. It had quite a lot of it's sort of brome grass. It's a funny, it's hard to describe without sort of explaining to you, or without being able to show you what it is. But yeah, so this paddock's got quite a few burrs in it, and I will show you at a later date what a burr is. We usually spot spray them with the side-by-side. We've got a little 200 litre tank that goes on the back of it, but we've just, here there's sort of too many to spot spray, so we're going to actually do a reset on this paddock. So I'm sort of doing a knockdown now. It won't kill all the lucerne. The lucerne's pretty tough. About the only way, as I said earlier before, in past videos, about the only way to kill lucerne is to drown it. So there still will be quite a lot of lucerne in here, but yeah, we just need to clean these supper weeds up. So the bindies, the what we call a Bathurst burr. Worst thing with the Bathurst burr, it's got a real prickly sort of seed on it, and the sheep pick it up and cart it everywhere. So we're just gonna get on top of it now before it starts and sets seed, and then we'll come in mid-March hopefully with probably a vetch and clover mixture, and then yeah, we'll get a grazing out of that, and whether we cut it for hay or yeah, we'll just see how the season plays out essentially. Yeah, so how many hectares we've done in here. Steer and the auto steer going again. Yeah, done about 44 hectares, so we're well on our way to having it done. Yeah, Brendan's still speed tilling at home. That's going all right, and yeah, got the big compressor, so we'll get out of here, and we've got another 30 odd hectares back to spray yet after this paddock, so we'll do that, and by then the warmth of the day will have probably come up. Just put a dodger gum tree, and yeah, we'll get home and get this header cleaned down. Rightio, so we've ended blowing the header down. Yeah, been at it for, I don't know, about an hour and a half, something like that, a couple of hours. Time gets away. Yeah, so having a few dramas with the higher compressor, it keeps overheating, so it's sort of drawing the job out a little bit, but that's all right. Yeah, so no, just trying to get all the grain and that, still a bit here, I don't know if you can see that, the grain kicking around out of all the nooks and crannies, and yeah, just so that we already flushed a rat out here earlier on, so just to, you know, get all the critters out and yeah, make sure they don't start and think it's a new home for them and start chewing everything, like a bit of the issue we had earlier on. So yeah, we'll give it another run, but you can sort of see there's still a bit of dust and that in here. You want to never sort of get them 100%. You sort of think you do, and then a month later you might come and give it a run, and there'll be dust that'll pop out of somewhere where you've missed. So yeah, anyway, but no, so we're getting there. We'll once we'll probably nearly finish with the blower anyway. So yeah, just got to do the fronts now. I want to pull the mats out of the fronts and yeah, get all the crap out from underneath the mats, because it tends to build up in under them. I have had a bit of a go at this one out here, but yeah, probably need to lift it off the trailer to get the mats out. So we've got a meeting in the morning that I'm going to take Brendan and Tony, the new fella, over to just for a listen. It's a bit of a group discussion on a bit of a debrief on harvest, and also sort of coming into sowing, just what varieties and people found were good. It's just a bit of an informal thing that the group I used to be on the board of, Riverine Plains, they sort of facilitate it. Yeah, so we'll go over a bit of networking and catch up with a few people and have a barbie lunch, and yeah, so and then yeah, I'll come back and yeah, continue doing this. But yeah, we'll bring the fire cart over and give the header a good wash down then. Yeah, and just try and get any bits and pieces. Like you can see that bit that's been there for a while, so we've hunted him out. So still a bit here on the back, but it's nearly knock off time today. So yeah, once we hit it with the fire cart, I'll give the box the wash out, and then yeah, we'll take it with the pressure washer then, and a few soaps, bit of soap, and give it a good brush over, and yeah, we'll let it dry out and put a bit of bait in it, just to, if the resident rodents do decide they want to make it a new home, and yeah, we'll bang it in the shed for the off season. Yeah, anyway, we might wind this one up. Thanks again for watching, thanks for subscribing, thanks for those that are commenting. Yeah, we'll see you shortly again soon. Bye bye.